One thing I think that's interesting that we haven't dealt with yet, and I will deal with it while we're dealing with the front row before we move back, and that is the aspect of this as a woman's play. And it seems in the last 5 or 6 years there is a trend to more productions, more movies, more programs that are focused on women, not as wives and secretaries and assistants, and not with scanty clothing, but actually dealing with women as human beings with the complexities and strengths and weaknesses that human beings have. Although I think it's probably one of the most common complaints of actresses that there are too few roles. Do any of you see that there may be more roles today than maybe there were 10 years ago? Maybe not.
Thelma and Louise is the first female buddy film that's happened in a long, long time.
What I was thinking, just last night I saw the Lemon Sisters. We watched that, and you think of like, what is that? The Diane Keaton, Sissy Spacek one, Crimes of the Heart. You know, I can think of in the last 7 or 8 years, maybe 7 or 8 sort of major motion picture type.
Steel Magnolias.
Yeah, you know, where you've got in essence a female cast dealing with women as the central characters, and not just as a sexual interest or a love interest, but rather their relations with each other and with their lives.
Yes, but you also have to remember that these are very powerful actresses that have spent a lot of time in this business, and because they are draws, they were allowed to do these projects because they put them together themselves, for the most part.
So do you think the trend is essentially still there that...
I think if you want to get something done, you do it yourself.
Yeah, okay.
There's another original production that's coming out about divorced women. Mm-hmm. I don't know exactly when it's going to be premiered, but it's coming out, and it's written by Sterling Lacey. So there's a lot of things that are coming out about women, even to go back to For Colored Girls. Mm-hmm. That was about women and how they dealt with some of the things that they had to deal with. Helter Skelter deals with a whole different gamut of women and their problems.
But you realize even in the TV sitcom now, there are several, you know, Golden Girls, Designing Women, whatever. There's sort of like girl shows, women shows about women and their relationship with one another, and you know, it seems to me outside of I Love Lucy, I can't recall much. You know, there were sort of comedienne shows like Ann Sothern and people like that who would sort of, you know, our Miss Brooks type shows where there was a comedian who would be interacting essentially in a male-dominated environment. But what you're seeing now is much more interest, anyway, in seeing women who are creating their own environment. And Susan, I'm going to come over to you because I could see you wanted to say something.
Well, before we got too much further on, I wanted to mention that this play from McCree Theater, One Way In, No Way Out, the conceiver and director is Kathy Johnson, and she didn't mention that.
Well, that's nice.